Bible. It doesn't. When you find out the real history of the world and you find out the real science that comes behind the history of the world, you come to find out that all of this Freemasonry and all of this stuff, plain and simple, is just murder. It's just murder and mayhem. That's all it always was. That's all it ever was. Murder and mayhem. Freemasonry is murder, mayhem, and the willful ignorance of God's commandments. Period. And the apron represents willful ignorance. You know, you just playing it off that you don't know what you're really doing and that you should be forgiven. That's what the apron represents. You should be forgiven because, you know, you don't think what you did was so bad. Let me tell you what the apron is. Kanye West said, "I sold my soul to the devil because I could not wait for God." That's the apron. That is the apron. Because he couldn't wait for God, he sold his soul to the devil. That's the apron. See the picture with George Washington in the apron? And George Washington was an atheist demon. Benjamin Franklin was a murdering atheist demon. They found dead bodies all in his apartment building, man. Okay? Benjamin Franklin was a real he was a real demon. He was probably the Aleister Crowley of his time, man. Ben Franklin. This Freemasonry is nothing but murder and mayhem. Point blank and fucking period. It ain't nothing deep about it. The Quran talks about it. Yes, a demon will give you power and strength and glory and this and that and the third if you do some fucked up shit from, of course. Why not? Demons like blood and body and guts. You give a demon blood, body, and guts, he'll give you a good singing voice. He'll give you swagger, so that you could do something with the swagger. He could give you women. These women, man. These fucking women, man. These fucking women, man. You sell your soul. You sell and selling your soul to the white man is not the only way you can sell your soul. You can sell your soul. You could sell your soul in many different ways. As long as you got the frequency of this world on you, these women will come running. And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day, and Adam and his wife Eve hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees, which are other people. Let's get into that again. Once again, 2 Kings 14:9. Okay, Joash, king of Israel, sent to Amaziah, king of Judah, saying, the thistle that was in Lebanon sent to the cedar that was in Lebanon, saying, give thy daughter to my son to wife. And there passed a wild beast that was in Lebanon and trod down the thistle. Okay, so, you know, people can be trees. See, what Eve did was that she went among the people to blend in, but the Lord caught up with her. Okay, and the man, to hide, and Adam and Eve hid themselves from the presence of the Lord amongst the trees of the garden. And the Lord God called unto Adam and said unto him, where art thou? And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. So why would Adam be afraid to be naked from the presence of God? It has nothing to do with his actual nakedness. Nakedness is basically everybody knowing what you do in secret. That's spiritual. That's biblical nakedness. Okay, and it would make more sense in this particular case, Genesis 3:10, for him to be afraid of God because of his nakedness instead of him being physically naked. That doesn't even make any sense. Adam had been wearing clothes from the beginning. The first world was more technologically advanced than this one, but he didn't have no clothes on his back. They done built the pyramids fit for giants, and even the Quran talks about how they circumvented the whole world, okay, before the flood. Get out of here. Crazy. Another reason why people are trees is because they were just bigger than us back then. And the Quran talks about that too, how people were bigger and stronger and smarter than us before the flood. And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. So Genesis 3:10 is proof that nakedness ain't actual butt nakedness. That's why they put the word butt in front of naked, because it's English slang, but it makes sense, because nakedness is spiritual nakedness, not booty nakedness. But if you want a hip-hop record deal, you're going to have to get booty naked. They're going to play with your balls. They're going to mess with your booty hole. All right. And the Lord God called Adam and said unto him, where are you? And he said, I heard your voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. And he said, who told you that you were naked? See, they didn't know that they were doing wrong, because the law was supposed to be written in their mind. Okay. Have you eaten of the tree where I commanded you not to eat? And the man said, the woman gave it to me. And the man said that it was Eve that gave him the fruit from the tree. And God told the woman, what is this that you have done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me. So did the serpent seduce Eve into eating fruit? No, the serpent seduced Eve into taking up another philosophy. And she had a baby by another man, because a part of the philosophy was he can go off with other women and not be responsible for them, and she can go off with other men and not be a wife to them. Okay? And God said to the serpent, because you have done this, you are cursed above all cattle and above all beasts, and you will be on your belly, and you will lick the dust all the days of your life. Meaning the serpent will be a slave basically forever. And for most of the white man's life, he was basically a slave, except for Rome, Greece, and now. Them the only times he wasn't really a slave. You know what I'm saying? The white man's whole life is a lie. Even the black power movements that say that the white man's been ruling for 6,000 years. No, he hasn't. How the fuck he's been ruling for 6,000 years and the Egyptians had empires in, like 3,000, 4,000 years ago? What are they talking about? They don't know what they're talking about. Okay? And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between your seed and her seed, and it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. All right? And unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and your conception, and your sorrow shalt thou bring forth children, and thy desire shall be unto your husband. So God had Adam and Eve kind of on an equal playing field, but now he realized that the woman needs to be subject to her husband. You understand? Not that Adam didn't have power over her before, but now it's been pronounced. You got to listen to your husband now. So there was a time where the woman could have, could have kind of finagled her way, but now she can't. Now it's either she deals with the husband or she ain't dealing at all. Okay? And look at Genesis chapter 3. Genesis chapter 3, verse 15 and 16. And I will put enmity between thee and the woman, and between thy seed and her seed, and it shall bruise thy head, and thou shalt bruise his heel. So the serpent is obviously a man, because a man has seed, and the woman is a man. You know what I'm saying? Now I know I'm about to say something, but don't get it twisted. Adam represents the woman. Adam is not an actual woman. Adam represents the nation of Israel, which is a woman unto God. Okay?